When new riders picture their first real adventure ride, they usually don't imagine the fun parts first. They imagine being stuck. A flat tire, a stalled hill, a dropped bike they can't pick up, or a trail that's actually harder than they expected and no one is around.
I have imagined all of those scenarios in vivid detail.
Yeah, the fear is quiet, but it's powerful and keeps a lot of riders parked longer than they need to be. So what actually happens when something goes wrong?
I have concerns.
The honest answer is this. Sometimes things do go wrong, but most of the time they're small, inconvenient, and they're manageable. All right, welcome back to the channel. If you like these types of videos or you're learning something for new riders, I want to encourage you, scroll down and subscribe to my channel and leave a comment and let me know how these videos are helping you. I'd love to interact with you and help you find your adventure. Today's video is sponsored by Glotich Honda in West Frankfort, Illinois. No matter where you're from, it's important to have a solid local dealership you can count on for parts, service, and repairs. Over the years, I've always counted on the team at Glotich to help me get the bikes ready for adventure. They have a top-notch sales and service department that prides themselves on treating people fairly. The Glotich family have been operating their local dealership since 1946. And is the only Honda dealership in Illinois to win 18 Honda Excellence Awards. And when it comes to my bikes, I trust the experience and honesty of the Glotich Honda crew. No BS, no hidden fees, just honest sales and dependable service for the past 80 years. So if you're looking to buy your next bike or just get your old bike ready for your next adventure, this is the team to call. I'll leave a link to their social in the video description, or you can visit their website, glottichhonda.com, for more info. Make sure you let Austin know I sent you. Yes, things go wrong, but the majority of first ride problems are just inconvenient. They're not catastrophic. You're going to see things like minor tip overs, taking a wrong turn, getting more tired than you expected, sometimes a loose bolt or a small mechanical issue. The brain exaggerates unfamiliar risk, and fear grows in the unknown. Your mind fills in the gaps with worst-case scenarios, but experience shrinks those gaps.
So it's not an immediate helicopter extraction?
No, most adventure rides end with tired legs and a good story, not a rescue helicopter. You don't eliminate risk. What you do is you reduce uncertainty. I use a simple pre-ride checklist that handles most of the big fears before they even show up. I'll drop a link in the description so you can check it out and feel free to use it for yourself. I break it down into 4 categories. Let's cover the bike basics first. Look, most mechanical problems give warnings before they completely break down. Quick checks before you ride can prevent most of them from ever happening. Checking tire pressure, inspecting your chain, checking fuel level, and making sure that your bike controls work. Let's start with checking your tires. Make sure you have the right tire pressure for the terrain that you're riding. Now listen, we could do an entire episode on tire pressure, but that's for another day. Here are the basics for you. Lower pressure gives more traction for off-road riding. Higher pressure is recommended for on-road riding. And you should check your tire manufacturer's recommendations for the tire that you're running. You can find that on the side of your tire. Here's a reference. My Pan America with Anarchy Wilds recommends 35 PSI for my rear tire. And I'll run that pressure if I'm on the road. But if I'm going to be riding off-road, I'll lower my tire pressure down sometimes to 10 or 15 PSI to get extra traction. Next, you want to look at your chain and make sure it's clean and lubricated. It should be loose, but not too loose. If your chain is too loose or too tight, it can put unwanted stress on several parts of your bike and ultimately lead to a breakdown. The last 2 things are real quick. Make sure that you have fuel. Listen, a full tank is best, but enough fuel is critical. Make sure your bike controls like your turn signals, your ride modes, your traction control, all that stuff can turn off and on if your bike allows it. A quick bike check can take less than 2 minutes to complete and can save you hours of frustration later. Section 2 of this checklist is all about rider basics. Hydration is important when riding. I always take a liter or 2 of water in my backpack when I'm riding. You'll be surprised at how physically demanding off-road riding can be, especially for new riders. You're gonna sweat and you're gonna get tired, so remember to rehydrate and think ahead for that. You use up a lot of energy too, so I like to pack a little snack I can eat on the side of the road when we stop.
Yeah, you don't look like you've missed many snack opportunities.
Check your safety gear too. Look over your helmet, your boots, your gloves, and your goggles. You want to make sure all that stuff actually works before you need it to work. Finally, make sure that you're well rested before you tackle a new trail. Sleep is really important for success. If you're already tired before you start, it'll make things much harder once you start moving. Remember, most mistakes don't happen because the bike failed. They happen because the rider was tired. Now that you've checked over your bike and you have the essentials for your body, let's do a mental check and make sure that your communication basics are covered. Does someone know where you're going to be riding and roughly how long you're going to be out there? Do you have a general idea of the area that you're riding? You should know that even if you're riding with a new group. Make sure your phone is fully charged and that you have an emergency contact plan in case things do get a little spicy.
I still have concerns.
It probably won't, but you should be prepared just in case. The last section of your checklist, it's super simple, but it can make the difference between a great riding experience and a really disappointing day. I call this the margin check. Don't press your fuel range too far and make sure that you have enough daylight for your ride. The last tip is not to stack too many new things at once. So like a new bike, a new terrain, and a new group, that can cause a lot of stress. Remember that margin turns potential problems into manageable moments.
So if I check the bike, check myself, tell someone where I'm going, and leave margin, that reduces the stranded alone scenario?
Dramatically.
Perfect. But I still don't have a motorcycle.
I thought we would do something about that.
Is that mine?
Yeah, it's manageable. You don't start on something overwhelming, you start on something that you can control.
It's small.
Well, so are you.
It's not what your mom said.
You don't eliminate risk, you shrink it. You reduce the unknown and you build familiarity.
So instead of imagining catastrophe, I build competence?
Yeah, that's progress. Let me give you a real example. On one of my first off-road trail rides, I got into a loose corner a little too fast, and I ended up whiskey throttling my bike. Of course, I ended up on the side of the trail, but only my pride was banged up. The bike was a different story. The bike went into a tree, and I bent the handlebars. I remember standing there for a few minutes just looking at my bike, and panic started to set in. I realized I was like 3 miles into a 12-mile trail system, and not only were my bars bent, but my forks got twisted too. So the bike was rideable, but I could only limp it along. And it was kind of hard to control. But because I followed my checklist, I remembered that there was a bailout, like an emergency exit just about a mile ahead of me.
And you didn't panic?
No, I just slowed down and I handled it.
Because you were prepared.
That's right. You don't prepare because you expect disaster. You prepare because preparation builds calm. When something goes wrong, it eventually will, you slow down, you think clearly, and you handle it. And that's how confidence is built.
This is so manageable. It doesn't feel like a rescue helicopter situation.
You don't need to be fearless. You just need to be ready enough.
All right, I have fewer concerns.
Yeah, me too.